Salutations there, it is I, Presley. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Whichever one applies to you, of course. Today I will be going over and discussing some of my thoughts on episode 42 of the Thousand Year Blood War. Now, this episode is titled Son of Darkness. Now, the episode begins with this scene of Orihime, and it's of her looking at all these flowers. So, this is obviously a flashback. It's of her looking at all these flowers, and she points out one specific one, and, she muses whether or not Ichigo's heart would resemble that flower. And honestly, I will give her this. That is a very Ichigo-looking flower. It gives off his vibe a lot. So, I think she's pretty close on that one, honestly. Also, it's very sweet, obviously, Let's get into the real, one of the two really big things that happen in this episode. The first of which is, of course, the Askin Naklevar and the Kisuke Urahara fight. Oh my goodness. Out of all the fights that everyone was frankly waiting to see be adapted, this was one of the ones that would be up there on most people's lists, because the Kisuke Urahara fight is just, it's crazy. It's Kisuke, he's just that type of guy, he's so cool, he's so amazing. And I mean, obviously, I really love Kisuke. He's up there as one of my favorites, if that's not glaringly obvious. But anyway, we see their back and forth, we see Askin destroy Kisuke's eyes. But, that's not gonna stop Kisuke, because, he's too much of a menace for that. We get the reveal of Urahara's Bankai, and it looks so good in the anime. Good grief. They made the reveal scene so much more eerie for his Bankai in the anime. In the manga, it was insane too. Here they've actually added a bit more to it, and I think that's great. And Kisuke's all like, oh, well, I don't know if I'm really gonna tell you what my Bankai does. Which, to start off a fight, that's the best decision anyone in Bleach has ever made in their life. People are too keen to explain their abilities. Now, to be fair, Kisuke does explain his ability mere moments later, but not until the ability is very clearly somewhat understood by Askin, so he kept the element of surprise at first, gotta respect him for that. Basically, Kisuke's Bankai reconstructs anything it touches. So it reconstructs his eyes. He gets all these scars in him. He looks really good with scars, though. He's one of the few people I think that can consistently pull off scars. He looks so good in this episode. Good grief. Good grief, he looks so good. I'm gonna be honest. I love him. I love him so much. And we see, him and Askin fighting. One of the neat things we get to see in this episode is that this is something they expanded upon from the manga. In the manga, this is not something we really see, but in the actual fight in the anime, we see, Kisuke, he's kind of gliding about, the stitches midair. And that is so cool. That's actually so neat. But anyway, him and Askin, they keep going back and forth, back and forth. It's going crazy, And then, Grimjow appears, he whips out Askin's heart. We cut back over to Ichigo fighting with Yhwach for a bit. We don't see much of the fight in this episode, but we see a bit of it. We all see Orihime there, obviously lending her support, using her ability, And then we cut over to, good grief, it's one of the best sights to ever bless my eyes, which is more of the Uryu and Jugram fight. Every scene with this fight is enough to nearly send me into cardiac arrest, I'm telling you. I cannot handle how excited this fight makes me, because I've been waiting so long. The fight's just so good. We see them going back and forth, we see arrows being thrown, it's all going crazy, and then we get that scene. And let me tell you, when this scene happened in the theaters, I could not believe it. And seeing Jugram be like covered in the shadows with like all those eyes and stuff, it's so freaky design wise, but I love it because of course they'd expand upon Yugram's powers like they have for Uryu's. And oh, that's such a good idea and I love it, and oh, it looks so cool, and mm, this design is so crazy. I love it. I love it. And we of course see a bit more of Ichigo and Urahara at the same time. Like, it's kind of cutting back and forth between these two. The poem for this episode is actually from the perspective of Hitsugaya, it seems. Or at least I assume it is. I had to look this poem up separately because when I was watching the episode on Hulu, it kept automatically playing something else the moment the poem started. I could not hear whose voice it was, or even read the text, and it was driving me insane. So, like, I had to look up a YouTube video where someone had posted it separately just to hear what the poem was. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope everyone has a wonderful and lovely week, and I will see you all next time. Bye!